वाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्य देशतारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम
Hare Hare.
Krishna. Let us all pray today for Payal Mataji and family as we read these verses, nectarian verses from Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita. So we are describing, Narad Muni continues to describe the beautiful, the Bal Leela pastimes of Krishna. Yes, Sri Gaurangi Mataji, you could start.
Yes, while tending the calves and playing in the Vrindavan forest, he killed Vatsa and Baka. He adorns himself in forest dress and imitates the sound of the animals. May that first guru in the art of flute playing protect me.
So still he is continuing to pray that Supreme Lord, that flute playing Krishna, let him protect me. So he's in the mood of taking shelter of these pastimes. That's what it churning his heart, and he's taking shelter of these pastimes.
I worship the pastimes he performed in the early morning when he entered the Vrindavan forest with his cows and friends. Most relishable pastime, such as entering the mouth of great serpent after pondering in various ways.
Wow.
My mind is utterly enchanted by the Lord's pastime of taking lunch on the grassy shore of a lake and then going off to search for the calves. His hand adorned with a lump of rice mixed with yogurt.
So as Narad Muni is remembering these pastimes, we have to more focus on his feelings of how my mind is utterly enchanted. So as we remember following in his footsteps, we can feel how Narad Muni is lovingly remembering all these pastimes and taking shelter of these pastimes. Leela Madhvi Mataji, are you there today? Hare Krishna.
I think both of them not there, Nayana Sundari and Leela Madhavi. I
Okay,
think so.
yeah, you go ahead.
I'll read. Okay. 1 minute, Mataji. Who can describe the charm of those pastimes, which bewildered even Brahma when he saw them? Krishna himself assumed the form of the calves and covered boys, and yet he went to search for his friends and calves like an innocent child.
So this mixed feeling, right? This innocence and the supreme is so bewildering for whoever is watching from above. They can't even understand how the same person is showing his super excellence and then he's also showing as if he's an innocent child.
Yeah, and searching for them on that. Amazing.
Like an innocent child. Who is there, Mataji? Next, Anita Mataji, is she there? Shashikala Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Lord Brahma came to understand better than anyone else the special glories of Gokula, the abode of all those pastimes. So, with great respect, he praised the Supreme Lord who embodies the exalted tastes of pure love in Vraja.
So Lord Brahma is feeling so not just being crushed, but also feeling grateful for have tasted that pure love of Vraja. That's how he prays that he doesn't pray that he want to be a gopi or he want to be a friend or a gopa of Krishna in Vrindavan, but he says, I just want to be a dust or anything, somewhere, some form in this land. That's how he takes the shape of a hills, the mountains of Radharani's Barsana, all those four heads are Brahma's heads. So that's his prayer after going through his purification. Vasantrasa Mataji, are you there? Vallabi Gopi, Sirisha Mataji,
Mataji, I'm here.
you are there. Okay, go ahead.
Please worship the wonderful pastimes the Lord enacted, such as tending the cows, honoring his elder brother, glorifying the beauty of Vrindavana, and imitating the singing of the bees. Commentary. This verse begins the recounting of Krishna's Pauganda Leela, the pastimes of years 6 through 10. Besides imitating the bees, Krishna and his friends would also imitate the chattering of parrots, call out in deep voices to the distant cows, and enjoy naps on beds of soft leaves.
These are all just like normal pastimes any young kids would do. But when the Supreme Lord is doing it, it is very, very, very special. Sirisha Mataji.
Yes,
Neeta.
Mataji.
Yes.
Can you listen, Mataji?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, Mataji. The Lord disposed of Dhenuka and his relatives in the Talavana and met at dusk with the women of Vraja. These pastimes I cannot adequately praise. I can only offer them my respects.
Wow. He's saying he can't even go ahead and praise them. He can only offer him his respects to these pastimes. Jai. Who is there next? Neeta Mataji, are you there? Payal Mataji. Richa Mataji. Who is there
Yeah,
next?
Mataji.
You're there? Okay, go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. The sport that the son of Yashoda enjoyed in the lake of Kalia disturbs me so much with both sorrow and joy that I can't bear to remember it. How then can I recount it to you? Commentary. Remembering the violence done by Kalia made Narada's made Narada sad, but remembering how Krishna tamed Kalia by dancing on his hoods enlivened him.
Wow. So the devotees feel hurt when they see their Lord was suffering with the Kalia's coils. But then seeing his mercy, then they also feel enlivened. So always there is a mixed feeling of sorrow and joy, and all emotions are coming in Krishna's pastime, whenever we remember that. Richa Mataji, Neeru Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Go.
Kalia had arrogance to.
When the
Kalia
Lord's
had. Oh, sorry. When the Lord's anger swelled, what a punishment he gave to that wicked, cruel-hearted creature, and what joy the Lord felt when he performed his festival of dancing on the stage of that serpent's upraised hoods. Commentary. Kalia had the arrogance to grasp with his filthy coils the divine body of the Supreme Person, thus causing great anxiety to the Lord's devotee. Kalia's heart was full of wicked pride, and he felt no shame raising his hoods high in the air. Therefore, Krishna gave him a fitting punishment. He turned Kalia's hood into a dancing stage and gleefully pummeled the serpent into submission.
Priyanka Mataji, are you there today? Has anyone else on the call? I did not call. Krishna, Krishna. I'm not checking that list. I'm just reading from what list I have, the handwritten one. Okay. Even Anantasesha is unable to describe such punishment and mercy to the serpent's many wives who offered Krishna prayers and worship. And to Kalia himself, I bow down. So even to Kalia, Narad Muni is bowing down.
The pastime of the forest fire took place on the shore of that same lake, and a pastime with an even greater fire took place in the forest known as Munja. In the Bandira forest, the clever arrangements for sporting magnified the glories of Balaram, the Lord's elder brother. May all these pastimes expand our good fortune.
In that Bandira one, the killing of Pralambasura happened, right? The boys fight and all that. So that's being mentioned again, that forest fire killing. Yes.
All glories to his pastimes in the rainy season, like his resting at the feet of trees, and to his autumnal pastimes enhanced by the beauty of forests, which heap the pain of Cupid's tournament on the women of Vraj.
When will I see with my own eyes the way he dresses in forest attire, steals everyone's heart with the downpour of sweetness from the music of his flute, and enchants all the cowherd girls?
So now Narad Muni's focus is shifting to the flute of Krishna. So let's hear from him the glories of the flute.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Lady.
How wonderfully he enjoyed the festival of stealing the clothes of the young girls. He climbed quickly to the top of a kadamba tree and spoke joking words to the girls. And after they offered respects with joined palms and submitted their requests, he gave back the garments he had placed on his shoulder.
Yeah. I glorify his pastimes of begging food from the sacrificial brahmanas, attracting the brahmanas' wives, and gracefully eating the food the wives offered. I glorify how he decorated himself and how he stood, spoke, and bestowed his mercy. Full Krishna book is coming here, Mataji, one by one, right?
And he's relishing that sweetness,
Ah,
how he spoke, everything he's remembering, and he's feeling so happy. So maybe I just thought like a mundane example, if we have some prime minister or some great personality that we know who is very rich, very beautiful, we can't even go close to him, and he's doing something very simple like village life. He's with his parents and having fun with his family, and that is being shown as a movie. Then we are like, wow, this person, you see, but how simple he is. We speak in this material world like that, right? Like cannot be compared, but just a mundane example. Narad Muni knows how great the Supreme Lord is, and then he is able to relish more these pastimes.
Is it me, Mataji, now?
Yes.
Okay, Mataji. I offer my homage to his all attractively worshipping Govardhana hill. He's holding up the great hill with his left hand. He's satisfying the cowherds, consoling Indra, and accepting coronation as Govinda, the lord of the cows.
Vallabi Gopi.
I'm unable to, yes, Mataji. I'm unable to properly describe his super excellent pastimes of showing the abode of Vaikunta to the residents of Raja and rescuing Nanda Maharaja from Varuna's realm. And how can I ever express in words the sweet way he showed himself to be the supreme Godhead?
Jai. He even went to Aruna Loka, right? All the way. Only if he's Supreme Lord, he can go. He can just give my father back. And Varuna was more happy to let him go. Jai. Neeta Mat.
What can what can I say about these activities of the Lord in Vraja? One who carefully thinks about them will conclude they are supreme in all respects. As soon as words describing those pastimes enter the ears, a flood of pure love spontaneously arises in the heart. Prema begins to awaken when those narrations simply enter one's ears. What to speak of what happens when a thoughtful devotee contemplates them with attention? Without doubting, we should accept that such an effect is possible by the innate potency of the words themselves, prakritya. Certain combinations of words have a natural power to evoke spiritual emotions, just as fire has its natural, inalienable potencies of heat and light.
Light. Yeah. So here they're trying to say that the pastimes of Krishna are themselves so sweet. Whoever hears, their heart just erupts with so much of pure love for him. So that is the nature of his pastimes, like how example is given of fire, as it has heat and light is embedded when we When the fire is there, there is for sure there is heat and light. So similarly, these pastimes evoke the prema in everybody's heart. Neeta Mataji, Payal Mataji, Richa Mataji.
Very fortunate is one who uses logical arguments to make known the supreme glories of Krishna's pastimes, and to one who becomes full of prema simply by hearing a few words about those pastimes. I offer my humble obeisances.
So Narad Muni is actually so happy. He's offering obeisances and praying as he's remembering these pastimes. Neeta Mataji.
On next page, right, Mataji?
How can my tongue?
Okay. How can my tongue dare try to touch the greatness of Krishna's dearmost possession, which stands out from all else, which befits only him, and which always rests playfully in his lotus hands.
Here comes our flute. Okay, a little bit more Mataji, the glorification.
Glorifying Krishna's flute, Sri Sanatan Goswami here begins a 17 verse discussion of next topic, Ashesha Mahatattva Madhuri, the sweetness of all of Krishna's excellent qualities. Text 140 through 149 specifically glorify Krishna's flute. Everything about Krishna's flute is exceptional, since there is no other object like it in the entire world. There is nothing to compare to it. One can understand the greatness of that flute only by studying the amazing effects it only by studying the amazing effects its sound produces. No one but Krishna could own such a flute, and indeed Krishna never lets it out of his hands. Rather, he takes every opportunity to allow the flute to drink the nectar of his lips.
So in this connection, maybe few weeks back, I had shared class by Urmila Mataji. How did the Lord manifest this creation? So she says how this whole creation started with the sound. And she said, she asked a question to everyone, do you all know what was that sound that caused all this spiritual and material creation? And everybody was silent. And then she said in Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada explains, it's the flute of Krishna. So from the flute, all manifestations have begun. So it's somewhere it is there in Bhagavatam. So this is how special this flute is.
We had some class also, right, on Krishna's flute. I remember
Ram Kumar Prabhu shared the Venu Madhuri, the sweetness of Krishna.
No, Shamanand Krishna Prabhu. Somebody shared.
Shamanand Krishna Prabhu recently he said in the Bhagavatam too.
No, but this class, Mataji, we heard long time back about there was a big description on how Krishna flute is not ordinary, it's a personality. Something like that. I forgot, Mataji. It was very nice, but it's not just Krishna's flute, like how everything in the spiritual world has a form, even the flute has a form.
Yes.
I forgot.
If there is a class, do share if you find it somewhere.
Yes, Mataji, I will try to look.
This flute sound what started the creation, the whole manifestation. Who was next? Now I lost track. Who read now?
Mataji, I just read.
Neeru Mataji.
Mataji, okay, then it's me. Still by the power of the Lord's mercy, I will say something about it, as far as I am able. Please listen carefully. Yes, Sri Gaurangi Mataji.
The words of the Upanishads and the other Vedic texts come forth from the Lord's own divine mouth, but simply by contact with his bimba red lips, that wooden object, the all enchanting little bamboo flute, has created a sound more nectarian than the words of the Vedas and any other form of speech.
Hearing that sound of flute, all the demigods and perfected mystic flying in their airplanes were bewildered in divine love, and so were their wives Indra, Shiva, Brahma, and other demigods were so confused They could no longer tell fact from illusion.
That sound made everybody lose their own consciousness or their own state of mind, their own like it's mentioned about Indra, Shiva, Brahma, because they're all such great personalities and they have clear thinking and all that, and their managerial positions, they just forgot everything when they hear the sound of the flute. It's not just for normal people, but even very exalted people lose their state of consciousness listening to this flute. Here is some more, Mataji, the principal
Okay.
demigods.
The principal demigods and sages were so confused they couldn't even remember their own identities. They thought, now we can no longer be certain whether the Brahman we know from the Upanishads is actually the absolute truth. Perhaps the sound of this flute is the absolute truth instead, because it seems to be the supreme embodiment of pure aesthetics.
Ecstasy, Jai.
This
The great sages, their meditations breaking, felt transformations of ecstasy arising within themselves, and the motions of the moon and other planets, swift and unceasing, which strictly follow the whirling wheel of time, just stopped.
Just stop, Hare Krishna.
The cowherds dedicated to Krishna everything they had, their bodies, families, and property, and their very selves. Those cowherds, indifferent to their own customs and needs, paying no regard to success in this world or the next, had so much respect for Krishna that they even bowed down to their own wives, because those wives were dear to him.
The husbands bowed down to wife because the wives were dear to Krishna. Hare Krishna. This is really sweet.
So attached to Krishna's company were the cowherd's little sons that they acted just like his shadow. If even for a moment they couldn't see him, if he sometimes went away on a whim, they were filled with distress. And when he returned, they would rejoice and rush to touch him.
Hare Krishna. It's sweeter and sweeter. Shashikala.
Sri Sri Radha and the other supremely fortunate gopis abandoned their husbands, children, and other relatives, their goals for the next life, their religious principles, and even their shyness, and the states of ecstatic love they attained left them always distraught. In such states, they complained pitifully in sweet voices and went through upheavals in which they sometimes lost consciousness, stunned like trees, unable to understand anything.
Yeah. Some more commentary, Mataji. Narada speaks.
Yes, Mataji. Narada speaks of the gopis. Narada speaks of the gopis' complaints as Madhura Katukai, bittersweet for those who hear them are overwhelmed both by joy and by sorrow. Everyone living in Vraja during Krishna's presence was constantly immersed in intense prema, but when Krishna played his flute, the ecstasy of that prema grew unlimitedly, affecting not only those already in love with Krishna, but all beings living and inert.
Pallavi Gopi.
Listen, and I will tell you the most wonderful thing. Upon hearing Krishna's flute, the many animals born without intelligence abandoned their own natures. The cows did, and the bulls and the calves, and the wild beasts of the forest, and the birds living in the trees, and the water birds sporting in distant lakes, and so too did the trees and plants and even the inanimate beings like rivers and clouds.
All transformations, everybody living and non-living, all were going through so much transformation. Just hearing Krishna's flute.
The moving creatures became immobile, the inanimate beings moved, the conscious beings lost consciousness, and the unconscious gained it. Constantly, indeed, these creatures and objects were submerged in a vast flood of prema rasa, overwhelmed by many transformations of ecstasy. Animals, stunned by ecstasy, lost their power to move. Trees and other plants became mobile, trembling and erupting with new leaves. Conscious creatures no longer showed external expressions of life, and unconscious logs and stones appeared to come alive by sprouting leaves and rolling about in the wind. All these extraordinary phenomena were signs of the ecstasies evoked by the song of Krishna's flute.
Yeah, so this is exactly was our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tasting it. So when he wanted to taste this, what was all these Rajavasis tasting when they see me and hear my flute? So in that mood, our Mahaprabhu came, and that's how he would go into those transformations, and he would just lie like a log, like lifeless for that long hours, and he would not even wake up. So that's how um, Chaitanya Charitamrita is extremely like a PhD, because it is a practical application in this earthly pastime of the Lord Himself tasting these Vraja Prema and transforming and showing that what actually happens if you get that Krishna Prema. So that's how it's so special. Richa Mat.
The Lord's Rasa dance discloses the most confidential essence of his godhood. It embodies the perfection of everything most dear to him. It reveals the final limits of his supremacy and sweetness. The goddess Lakshmi couldn't enter that dance, even after aspiring to do so in hundreds of attempts.
Jai. Jai Krishna. Niru Mataji.
Oh, this most sweet skill of the Lord in loving dealings, what pious mind would not be utterly entranced by Krishna's attracting women of good families to join him in the forest, by the clever words he spoke to them, and by the way they responded by at once breaking into tearful sobs. Commentary. Text 151 through 156 elaborate on the glories of Krishna's Ras Leela, following Shri Sukadev Goswami's description in the 5 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam called Panchadhyaya.
I could praise the Lord's expertise in concealing his mind from the gopis had he been able to keep it concealed after they pitifully complained. But once they began to cry, he showed them his true feelings and enjoyed with those gopis, enchanting them with all the arts of Cupid.
Who can avoid constantly chanting the glories of the Lord's disappearance from the rasa dance? He is so expert in pastimes of separation. Though the gopis were endowed with great composure and sobriety, that separation transported them to extraordinary ways of speaking and acting and extraordinary states of heart.
So inconceivable are his pastimes that they frighten me. How could he grant the gopis the very instance of all good fortune and then suddenly cast them into an ocean of grief? A torment known only to a woman deprived of her life and soul. Commentary. Narada considers Krishna's Ras Leela beyond his comprehension. As hard as he tries, he cannot fully understand. He can only offer respects to Krishna, who graced Srimati Radharani with his greatest favor by taking her away alone from the Rasa dance, but who then suddenly disappeared, abandoning her to her own lamentation. At that moment, even her girlfriends, too far away to hear her cries, were unable to help her.
So even Narad Muni is very bewildered with this Ras Leela pastime of the Lord.
A sorrowful song like crying made Krishna reappear to flood them with pure ecstasy. The answer he then gave to their questions proved his indebtedness. May that Lord protect you.
Yeah. So how he says, may you be satisfied with your own all that you did. I can't do anything to repay your debts. So,
The Lord's cleverness at expertly arranging the gopis in a circle, his expertise in arts like dance and song, the perfection of splendor, one after another, that were never seen before. Those wonders steal away my heart and enchant the entire world.
One who is greedy to drink the nectar at Krishna's lotus feet knows how exalted are the devotees who relish it. Lord Brahma therefore longs to come in touch with the greatness of those born in Gokula, and our friend Uddhava with the special greatness of the gopis.
little bit more.
I have to read, right, Mataji?
Mm-hmm.
My greatest possible good fortune would be to take any birth whatever in this forest of Gokula and have my head bathed by the dust falling from the lotus feet of any of its residents. Their entire life and soul is the supreme personality of Godhead. Mukunta, the dust of whose lotus feet is still being searched for in the Vedic mantras.
This is a prayer from by Lord Brahma that he just wants to be the dust. So this is important for us to understand because our hearts are also so much attractive when we are reading these pastimes. So what should be our prayer? So when Lord Brahma is praying that he wants to be a dust, so that is where we should try to understand where our position is, that at least we hope that we can pray that we can be dust. We can hope to pray, not that we can be. So yeah.
Those who yearn for something understand the good luck of those who have it. So the gopis sing of the extreme good fortune of Mukunda's flute because they too are greedy to drink the nectar of his lips.
Vallavi Gopi.
Krishna is always so profoundly attached to his dearmost companions for their overwhelming love that he does not even care to notice his eldest son Brahma offering prayers to him and bowing down.
This we can remember if we see that Krishna, what that movie, even in that they show how when Brahmaji is coming and offering, he's like, now be done and gone. I have to go play with my friends. Like, I don't have time to sit and hear all your prayers now. I don't even like that is not important to me at this point. So, yeah.
Not even for a moment is Krishna keen to talk with persons like me whose only goal in life is his lotus feet. Indeed, that romantic hero of the cowherds is enchanted by some forest dwellers who know all sorts of herbs and mantras. Krishna might not care much about demigods with official status like Brahma, but what about Narada, who is a simple devotee with no material position? Narada has no shelter other than Krishna, yet he laments that Krishna is too busy with the Vrajavasis even to say hello to him. What to speak of offering the proper greeting for a respectable sage? Narada's jealousy impels him to suspect that the Vrajavasis are controlling Krishna with herbs and mantras. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, of course, can never succumb to such material influences, but Narada in his ecstasy thinks like that. The only power that can subdue Krishna is the Vrajavasi's pure love. Another indication of Narada's jealousy is his ironically speaking of Krishna as Goshta Nagara, the romantic hero of the cowherd village. This name also implies that although Krishna is very clever, the Vrajavasis are even more clever since they have him under their control.
Narad Muni's his lamentation is coming out in that way. He's calling, he put some mantra or something. These people have some herbs that they have taken control
Leading
of.
Krishna.
This is so sweet. Yeah. Any reflections, Mataji? This is just a sweet, sweet pastime.
I was just thinking, Mataji, this pure love, pure love. Sometimes I feel it's don't give me pure, give me impure only, but give me some love.
Krishna.
प्योर लव तक पहुंच दे, इम्प्योर लव भी चलेगा, कुछ तो दे दो.
Actually, what we have got that pure love or whatever we call. That's how at least we know Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So many are so confused, right, Mataji? They can come to that conclusion that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So we have got that shadow already. Don't worry. This is such a bewildering state in India. You go and speak about this, people will look at you as if you are biased. You are like what sectarian. We are like no by what all the Vedas conclusion is Krishna is a supreme God. They're like, you're just too biased. That's all I can say. They will think.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they don't have a problem in accepting Krishna as God.
He's God.
The
God is
problem is
supreme.
the supreme God. Huh? The supreme word is not acceptable.
So what's the point, right? Like we call everybody here and there Bhagavan, everyone. But if we don't know that he is the supreme, then they're missing the point.
Actually, Mataji, because I was also in that state, right? We so much from our childhood we see everything. The problem is no reading, no hearing. So वो खिचड़ी is good, no, it's good, but pureness के लिए you have to put some effort. So that effort I never put. So
true, so true. We are really blessed with Srila Prabhupada.
Truly, that is why it is so scientific, and I just wonder. Otherwise, Mataji, sometimes I feel how, imagine if we were not in this process, our kids, we were still blessed being in India, getting that atmosphere. We still had some sukriti. Here, if the kids were not getting any of this and we were not in the process, where would they go, Mataji?
Christmas shopping. Santa Claus chimney. Stockings in the socks.
Yeah.
Wrapping. I don't know what to say. It's okay. Like it's just.
Mataji, what is meant by Madhur Katakai in one text? I'm not understanding.
Where were we? You have to tell me where only, then I can go, or somebody with the book only has to go.
Mataji, it was where it is sweet as well as sour. That both the flavors come.
Even
Yes,
the
that's how all
flute.
Krishna's flavor is filled with both the cry and happiness, right?
Yeah.
we are happy at the same time, so
Oh,
things bring that out. So I guess
it's flute
that's
description there.
147, Mataji, text 147. Second paragraph. Last paragraph. Narada speaks of the gopis' complaints as Madhura Katukai, bittersweet
Means
for those who hear them, or overwhelmed both by joy and by sorrow. Text 147, last paragraph.
got it, Mataji. Yes, you read it. Yes, now I can.
Yeah, that's why I remember.
Sweet, sweet pastimes of the Lord. This crying is also ecstatic. We cannot understand. Mahaprabhu was crying and he was ecstatic. We cannot understand. It's okay. Don't worry. Narad Muni did not understand. Brahmaji did not understand. At least we know for theoretically that it is highest. So let's just be happy at that stage. Yeah. Like how like, women's right, we will be like, how could Krishna leave the gopis and go? How did he leave Radharani when they left everything and came for him? We can do that now, like women's rights, but they are actually happy singing Gopal Geeta and remembering the Lord, and they are going into ecstatic moods of remembrance. We just can't understand it with our limited knowledge and intelligence. Krishna.
Mataji, I have one question regarding Lakshmi Devi. Like how she's always close with Narayana. She's always like not even a minute she's without serving him. But why was she not allowed in the Rasa dance?
He cannot go and make cow dung patties. She cannot go and milk the cows sitting like that, cowherd girls. Mood
Okay,
she
okay.
can. Her Aishwarya Bhav, she's not able to give up. And Krishna wants that cowherd. The cowherd, he wants his consort also to be the cowherd girl, right? He cannot have a queen as his consort there dancing. The mood was missing. Different. That will
Yes.
Rasa Bas it will become.
Yeah.
No
Nice,
problem.
Mataji. Thank you. Yeah.
No problem with her. It's just that scenario. That's how Shivji wanted to be the gopi, and they said, "Oh yes, they said go and take a bath in the kund and come." And he jumped in and came. He became a gopi, but the snake did not become the gopi. So there was a gopi with a snake around because snake has his own identity, right? He didn't want to become the gopi, so it is said that then he was made to stand as the palak, as a protector of the Ras Leela Mandali. So even now when we go to the temple, you can see Shiv as Gopishwari, Mahadev standing there with the snake, but he is dressed like a gopi with the gopi skirt and the sari and all that.
Oh, nice, Mataji. Thank you for sharing.
First time when I heard, I was like, Shivji became a gopi. Like he was ready to do anything. Just get me there. I want to be in. And I could only imagine like when Maharaj all dances and that inner circle goes, I was like, I am not a female. Just let me in. Just hope I was a brahmachari to get in the circle. And I was not married at that time, and I would be like, why are they not? They would all like hold hands and they would circle around Maharaj and stay. And I am going on their legs, this side, that side, jumping, but not see. Yeah, some intimate pastimes not allowed in the body in this form. The closest I could relate. I would feel so envious. My God, I have had so many dreams myself in saffron cloth. Sorry. I was like, I'm myself, Mataji, really. I'm like, this sari is not letting me go in. Okay.
Oh, wow.
But now I feel like after marriage and actually kind of relishing or understanding these pastimes, I feel very happy to be Mataji. But prior to marriage, pre-marriage stages, I was not happy.
It is same. I'm leaving temple. I feel like I'm become brahmachari.
Most of the
In 3
Mataji,
months.
whoever were in
Only
temple, we will climb on the pillars, so at least from top view you can get. Near they won't let us, so we will run here, there. They are tasting some other ecstasy.
yeah.
So true. Krishna, Krishna. This is so sweet. Sorry, Matajis, for the distraction. Any other reflection related?
Yeah. One time our anniversary we were in temple Sunday feast, I think. After Sunday school, after everything done, somebody announced it's their anniversary. Prabhuji, with both hands like hugging to call my Prabhuji. My Prabhuji was so humble and he was not going and giving hugging. And Prabhuji was grab him like a child and he was giving hugging. I was standing next to my Prabhuji, and then after my Prabhuji, I was going front. Prabhuji, Amma. He ran back. I didn't think that I'm a lady.
I need
Somehow,
to see your camera on. I want to see you.
it was very early time. So my Prabhuji's turn is done. Next my turn, like that. Anniversary is both of us, right? So I was going front. Prabhuji was running, going backward. Amma. And
This is the best sharing.
So cute, Mataji.
So sweet.
so many times I also felt why we are not like a men, like after initiation also Maharaj gave a huggy to everybody.
Yeah, Mataji, that's exactly, Maharaj, in some day, some disciple meeting, Maharaj gave my Prabhu a hug. And then he was like, see, I got a hug. He said, can I hug you? He said, okay, come and hug me. So I'm like, thank you. I said, you got the hug. So can I need some of it. So can I? And he was so much, Mataji, he was taking, bolte na bhav kha rahe the. Okay, you can hug me.
Mercifully, okay, take it.
I really getting jealous, Mataji, when Maharaj was hugging everybody.
Yeah,
After
Mataji,
the
Maharaj
initiation,
was...
especially keeping their head.
Oh, Maharaj
on
hugged you
Maharaj.
after initiation.
Yes,
Initiation.
we had a group picture also in New York, right? 4 years back.
Mm-hmm.
I am waiting for pictures now.
But it's not okay. I'll search Mataji. Maharaj hugging, like putting their head on their his heart like this. Hugging, amazing.
Yes, very, very jealousy moments.
Yeah.
We'll be like Narad Muni, we'll say, oh, bamboo flutes. That wooden piece has got that much mercy. Leela Madhavi Mataji, you want to share something? I'm waiting to hear from you.
Actually, did you remember Shigorangi Mataji? After second initiation also, all Prabhus got the hugs from Maharaj.
I know, Mataji.
That day I felt so jealous actually, but...
Yeah, Mataji.
Yeah, we will all, for this we will take someday revenge.
Yeah.
In our Siddha Swarup, we'll take revenge, okay? Whenever we all get together with Krishna and Gurudev. Krishna Karuna Sindhu.
But Mataji, that glance itself makes us happy. I mean, we are talking about we were jealous that moment, but I think we are happy in our own this thing when Maharaj looks at us. We get to do it, it's very this thing, Mataji, very personal, very intimate.
Just that glance steals us.
Yeah.
It satisfies us completely.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, I also feel like how we get the opportunity to serve Maharaj personally, like by cooking, not everyone gets that, mostly it is Mataji's. Yeah, maybe some Prabhus, but mostly it's Mataji's.
And very
So
important.
I always think we have special place, even in Krishna's, even with Krishna's devotion, devotional service. I feel we have special place, Mataji, especially the cooking. The cooking is where I think everything is there, like for us. I think we are the one who get the most opportunity, and I feel like we are the one who have that, that intimate bhava more than Prabhu's. Somehow I feel that like we are more enthusiastic. That's how I feel.
Understanding. Yeah,
That is also Mataji. That is also the Matajis who cooking nicely. I never get a chance. I was scared. Even last time I got chance, but I was so scared to make.
Mataji, you do garland, Mataji.
Garland goes on.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Mataji, don't talk like that. I don't get anything.
You can cook. You cook nicely, right? Chapati, those things.
So first thing I should say that Shigorangi Mataji, you would please Maharaj so much with that Sunday school and the kids, because Maharaj feels so thankful when the kids take the consciousness. He says it's not easy, even temple you can run. But making kids Krishna conscious is the most challenging. And he said,
Mataji, I just do my service. Whether kids are becoming Krishna conscious or not, that is a different story altogether.
but you are giving the path, giving them the opportunity.
Yeah.
It's not easy, Mataji. Yeah. Consistently. So
Yeah, you are creating a future devotees.
Jai Mataji. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Let's
which
go
is
back.
very important.
Mm.
Thank you, Mataji.
we'll end our call here as we meditate on our Gurudevs and Srila Prabhupada and Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha.
Jai.
Jai.